क्या है? The internet is so slow. My Netflix is also not loading. What the hell, man? How does this work? Mama, the driver is not here. I've been waiting for 5 minutes. Where is he? मैं घर कैसे आऊँ? Hello and welcome to Musings of a Mastery. I'm Meenal Desai and here I share a medley of my unique experiences shaped by students, teachers, parents and life in general. Have you found your child to be too straightforward or in plain Hindi too सीधा for the real world? Do you really worry कि इसका दुनिया में क्या होगा? How will this chap or this girl manage in the real world? The mean and obnoxious place that we call the real world? That how will she learn to navigate through the throes of the day-to-day life? And how will these children really learn to manage themselves and come out victorious in the so-called harsh reality of our nation? Is that something that troubles you? Are you worried that privilege is spoiling them? And it is true. Generation after generation, we are getting richer. And with riches come money and privileges, which shield us from the illnesses of the world. We don't have to face the darker side of the life as we get richer and richer. But then, isn't it a good sign? Isn't that what all of us toil towards? You might see your child as the only one who is getting more privileges than what you did. But believe me, as the country becomes better off, there are hundreds and thousands and lakhs of families doing that. I meet so many of them day in and day out. And believe me, children are becoming lesser shaitan with each day. The generation per se is becoming a little more courteous and a little better off. I'm sure our parents were equally worried about us when we were young. I remember my father and my mother telling me that access to 24/7 electricity and water was something that I should be extremely thankful about. Yes, those were privileges of those times. And today, when we see our children walking with Apple gadgets and walking with 24/7 Wi-Fi and electricity and all of that, we see that as privilege. But when the entire population has access to that, I don't think it really constitutes to be a privilege per se. Also, honestly, deciding what is a privilege and what is not for your child, isn't that too much of a privilege for a parent? Do you think that your child would have access to this if you had not provided it? When you as a parent don't even as much as lift a finger to fetch a glass of water, do you really believe that our children will have austerity in their life? कि उन लोगों को कुछ नहीं करना चाहिए, वो गुरुकुल की तरह बड़े होने चाहिए, but I should have access to all the good things in life? Is that really possible? And should that really be something that we should aim for? I meet a lot of parents who at times want to shift students from one school to another, or who want to break down the fairy tale world they are living in by transferring them to hostels and harsher environments, believing that this will enable them to deal with reality when they grow up. But is it really that way? Uprooting the child from his or her emotional environment, does that really do good to the child? Think about it. What kind of a child do we really want to raise? And if privilege is such a big problem for us, what are we doing? What are we, the adults, doing about it? Can we as much as switch off the AC for one night to be with the child and say that this also is life? If we are not ready to give up on any of our privileges, do you think our children should be expected to do that? How about teaching adaptability rather than denial? Wouldn't that be a better road to take? That's just me thinking about the problems of privilege, thinking about the problems of abundance. Have you, as a parent, faced such problems? As a teacher, seen those notions come into our students' lives? The sense of entitlement eroding their sense of learning? And how do you deal with them? I would love to know about the problems that our generation faces today, problems that our past generations have not faced. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. So, don't forget to follow me on Musings of a Mastery. And I would love to hear from you on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you so much.